So hello everyone, thank you so much for joining the sessions. Okay, I'm Akash here, and we have a Prashant with us also with us, who would be going to lead this D365 F&O techno-functional trainings. Okay, so we have already explained what we are going to cover in this particular training altogether. Okay, but today we are going to kick off our first topic, and Prashant will be going to provide the more information what we are going to cover here and all, right? And I would really request to all of you to please try to make the session more interactive, right? And whatever the kind of questions you guys are having, you just need to raise your hand. And as and when we move to next slides, you guys are more than happy to ask whatever question you want. So that is all about, and I'll pass the controls to Prashant. And Prashant, just take the show and just uh, try to explain, try to do your best, right? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining sessions. Yeah, Prashant, please go ahead.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So this is the first part of the training, okay, of D365 F&O, and I want that this training to be quite interactive, okay. And actually, uh, I built this training regarding from zero to hero concept, okay. So everything I start from the scratch, and I will also accommodate some live projects which are happening now into the projects actually. Okay, I will try to replicate this into this training actually. Okay, this is the introductory first module training, architect of D365 F&O. Okay, so before going to D365 F&O, just I want to know, like, anybody have any idea what is ERP? Like any kind of thought regarding ERP concept? Anybody have?
So ARP is my understanding, like, where exactly we need to maintain some sort of resources, right? Of just like orders are there and inventories are there, right? So any kind of organizations would be needs to manage all those things, right? So ERP is some sort of a software with the help of, we are going to manage all the kind of the resourcing kind of a thing in more better manner, kind of. There are two kind of softwares are there majorly, like CRM software, where we manage the customer, like we have a sales app kind of things are there. ERP is something where exactly we are going to manage the backend kind of a thing properly. This is my understanding.
Mm. Okay, that is good actually. Yeah. So ERP is basically made up of three words, okay, known as enterprise resource planning. Okay, so basically enterprise means a company or a process, you can say. Okay, resource means you can say a data, like now the data driven world, and basically your business is completely depends on data. Everything depends on data only, either it is weather forecast or whatever thing. Complete AI is working on the data. So enterprise means your business or your company. Resource means it's a data, and planning means how you are collaborating these two and making a good plan to make a bigger business. Okay, or either it's for large scale or small scale or medium scale business, depends on. Okay, so basically, if you will see the ERP as I explained in this slide, ERP is enterprise resource planning. Okay, and now I'm expecting that, suppose a world I'm just imagining without ERP, where there is no ERP system. Okay, a non-ERP system. Okay, so how the business is going to drive when there is no ERP at that time? I'm going to in the past, I'm going to the history. Okay, when there was no ERP, what will happen? Suppose you want to build a company. Just I'm just taking a simple example that you are a laptop manufacturing company. Okay, so you are manufacturing the laptop and selling into the market. So obviously, if you are manufacturing laptop, means you require lots of things for the laptop. You required keyboard, you require chipset, SSD, display, cameras, keyboards, and all. Okay, so all these things you cannot manufacture in your company, correct? You have to contact some vendors where they are going to supply. Like I'm just giving an example, short example of Apple Mobile. So Apple Mobile is just working on the bionic chips. Apple is not going to prepare display, not going to working on camera. Display is given by Samsung, camera is given by Sony, Okay, he's just working on their particular design, on the bionic chips, okay, and on the synchronization of the apps. So they have their own R&D. Samsung have the R&D on the display. Sony have the R&D on the camera. Okay, so likewise, so if you are imagining the world which are non-ERP system, and you are driving a laptop manufacturing company, then you have to prepare some standalone products. Okay, suppose you have the customer, so you have to prepare a standalone customer customer application. Okay, you have the vendor list of vendors, so you have to prepare a standalone application for the vendors. If you have a warehouse management, so you have to build a standalone application for the warehouse management. Likewise, there are lots of things coming between, so you have to prepare separate segregated things. Okay, and in that particular you have to prepare the database for all that. Okay, like just I am soon just I have mentioned this, that suppose you are Tally ERP or Microsoft Excel for the listing down all the customer, all the vendors. Okay, or any kind of separate CRM or any kind of inventory software you build. Okay, so these all system are not synchronized, these all are standalone products, standalone application. Suppose anything going to corrupt, what will happen? The system, your business actually quite impact. Okay, so after that, what will happen? So now, when there is no ERP, these things you have to make. Okay, now I'm going to introduce the ERP system. Okay, now what will happen? Now ERP will centralize all these things at one plate. Okay, like you have, if you will see this diagram, okay, you are seeing this is a nor ERP structure of your business. Suppose you are a customer, customer start ordering, so you have an order entry system. Okay, it have separate database. Now you come to the manufacturing and distribution system, it have this particular standalone product application, it have separate particular database. Now procurement system, it have separate particular database. Now if you will see, this is the model of non ERP system completely. So here you will see all these are the standalone products which are divided into different sections with different database. Now how will you accommodate all these things in your business, and how the business is going to drive, that is quite difficult thing actually. Okay, now ERP, what ERP will do? ERP will bring all these things in your plate, everything: supply chain management, manufacturing, distribution, vendor management system, how you are going to distribute, or how, what will be the strategy of selling your particular stuffs into the market. Okay, what will be the business intelligence, project management, inventory management, okay, procurement system, what will be the budgeting. All this comes into one plate. Now imagine the world where all these things you are getting in a one platform at one plate. Okay, so what will happen here? The your business will be very smooth, and also you can like inbuild your own system. Okay, you have nowhere you have to move the data between the systems, you have one database. Okay, you can easily read your data, you can easily play with your data. Okay, you can easily migrate your data from one place to another place. Okay, because there is one database system here, actually database architect, only one, that is SQL server or anything. And just give an example, here we are using a SQL server. Okay, so here actually everything comes in one ground, one plate, and it's very easy, okay, for the business to run. Okay, and if anything corrupts in between, what will happen? You can go and you can easily investigate that particular thing. Okay, no need to go in every standalone products, everything you have in your packet. So one packet is there, everything inside that particular packet. Okay, so have you got the ERP? What is ERP basic concept?
Yeah. So just one thing I want to clarify, Prasoon. So you are trying to say that any kind of a company, if we'll take an example, right?
Yeah.
It is having a good amount of some common processes are there. if I am building any kind of a, you should about, am I audible, Prashant?
Yes, you are audible.
You told about, like, let us just talk about the Apple kind of any product based companies, right? So they need to maintain the inventory, they need to
Yeah.
maintain the order, they need to maintain the good amount of other things, right? So there are various
Yes.
common processes are there, right? So what we could do, either we create a separate standalone systems, or come purchase whatever kind of a thing, or we just try to look for kind of some software or tool which are available, which is going to take care of those processes, and that kind of the tool which take care of those processes, that is something called the ERP you're trying to say,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
So the lots of the product-based companies are there. They keep building about the ERP kind of a thing. So basically, I was having lots of one doubt here multiple times. We have something called ERP system and CRM system, right? So
Yeah.
what basically, in my understanding, CRM take care of certain processes, and ERP take care of a certain process. Based on my
Yeah.
understanding, CRM is something where the customer is going to be engaged. I'm from Power
Yes.
Platform side,
Yes.
right?
Customer is going to
So
be engaged,
CRM is
right.
something where we are talking about the sales process, marketing, where we are interacting with the customer,
Yes.
correct? And
Yes.
ERP is something you're trying to say, that where we are interacting with some backend kind of a thing, like a
Backend kind
non-customer
of
interaction.
thing, and with the business, like complete
Hmm.
takeover on the business actually. In the business,
Okay.
you
Okay.
required many things. Correct. You
So
required
basically,
labor.
things are there. So basically, the F&O is kind of a ERP kind of a tool altogether provided by the Microsoft. Correct.
Yes.
There would be good
Yes.
amount of ERP tools would be availing kind of a things. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So,
Okay.
yes,
Understood.
correct. So, like there are a good amount of ERP systems are there. Like some are given by Oracle ERP. Okay, now I already told that day that one more ERP came actually into the market, that is called Joho ERP. Okay, but why
Okay.
Microsoft
Okay.
Dynamics comes into the picture? Okay,
Mhm.
this is my point. Why it's very
Okay.
popular as compared to other ERP. SAP is there. SAP is actually
Yes.
driving
Yes. Yes.
from last 30 to 40 years into the market. But why
Oh,
people
great.
are
Great.
jumping from SAP to the Microsoft Dynamics?
Mhm.
Okay, because Microsoft Dynamics ERP is quite, you can say, volatile, quite extensible. Okay, there is no
Okay.
limitation into the ERP. In whatever way you can bend it. Okay, you can create your own particular business, your own business application over the ERP. It's quite volatile into the market. Okay, and also the cost of maintenance, okay, cost of regulation and all these things is very low as compared to SAP, S4 HANA and all that. Okay, and Microsoft Dynamics actually, most of the company worked on the Microsoft Dynamics, either it is large scale, small scale, or medium scale industry. Okay, likewise we have lots of module available. We have account payable, account receivable, inventory management, okay, procurement and sourcing, warehouse management, product information management. These are inbuilt, which are given by Microsoft.
Okay.
So likewise, Microsoft is also working from the back end on this ERP to make it very efficient. Okay,
Basically, you're trying
so
to say whatever the best processes could be part of the ERP, they will just trying to implement the best process, and based on our requirement, we can modify those particular tool. Correct.
yes,
And can we
yes,
also make some sort of a, like if I was seeing this particular diagram, so we have a, let us say, almost 8 to 9 processes are there, right?
yes,
So let us say
yes,
some kind of the custom process we wanted to also to build through ERP, we also can build, right?
yes, custom process, right, correct.
And also the good thing that would be happening, like all those processes would be having the same database, right?
Right. That database,
Okay.
correct. That database is actually we are using a SQL server, but in ERP it's called AXDB, Exparta database. Okay, if you'll go
Okay.
into the SQL database, we'll host the system actually and proceed further. We'll host the system. I will show you the SQL server. Okay, so inbuilt database name is AXDB, where all the data is going to sit into that particular DB. And the best part is that you can integrate. Okay, suppose we have inbuilt budgeting system. You don't need to require to build a budgeting system from the scratch. Just you have to integrate, just you have to connect your module. Suppose I, as already told that suppose you have a company called laptop manufacturing system. So you built
Okay.
an ERP called laptop manufacturing system. Okay, now to build a warehouse management system. So no need to build all these things. You just need to call this particular into that particular warehouse management. You can connect in production management, in account payable, in budgeting, procurement, and all these things. Okay. On top of that, suppose you have your business perspective, or you have every business have you have their own idea. Okay, you can implement that also. You can create whatever the menu items. You can create your own services, own integration, and also you can interact that particular system from third party app. Whatever you want to, you can do. Even you can introduce AI. You can create chatbot. There as power app, power platform, okay, power BI, all these things. So you got that?
Yes, yes, I got clarity, right? So ERP is majorly to take care of the business processes, and CRM is more about from the customer
Customer
side kind
relation
of.
management.
Okay,
Okay,
understood, right?
you can even integrate that with the customer relation management also.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So basically, if you go to the next slide, like here, if you'll say one single common repository means one single database. Okay, where
right.
the visibility is very high, where you can check, you can fetch whatever operation you want, you can do. Okay, also if you have the database control, you can create your database backup. Okay, likewise, suppose I'd already told in earlier classes that we have 3 to 4 systems. Okay, where we have a development system, where SIT, UAT, user accepting testing, and then prod system. All these have, and now prod system is controlled by completely Microsoft. You cannot do anything back because that particular system is given to the particular client. Okay, so whatever change you want to do, you have to contact to Microsoft in between. Okay, so what will happen? The data is data is actually collected in one particular packet. Okay, so no worries. If anything corrupts also, you can create a database backup. You can do n number of things. Okay, that's why it's called one single common repository. And also for the code movement and all these things, we have Microsoft tools, DevOps, Git, okay, which we can integrate, and we can easily move the code from your development system to the production system. Okay, so this is one single common repository, means you have all controls in your hand. Okay, no need to create any standalone application. Okay, just you need to. So what will happen here? A company is going to buy or going to construct a system for their business, depends on their capital. Okay, so on the consumption level, so Azure have different subscription. Either it is consumption level, either it is a yearly subscription or whatever. So you can create whatever size of database, you can create whatever size of RAM, and all these things. Cloud system will be given to by the Microsoft. Okay, and all these things you can easily operate in that particular cloud system. You will get SQL Server, you will get Visual Studio. All these things will be inbuilt into that particular cloud system. You will get password and ID. You can just go and log in, and you can create your own based on that. So what will happen? The process is like that, like a, a particular senior people is going to interact with particular client. Okay, client will give the whole infrastructure of their business. In between that, we have a functional consultant, what senior functional consultant or business architect is going to build all this, create one Word document where all the aspects are going to note down everything from scratch. Like if you are creating table, what will be the table name, what kind of fields are there, what kinds of data types are there. All these things are kept into here. kept into that particular FDD, functional draft document. Okay, now it will be given to us. We'll create our understanding based on that. Okay, what is feasible, what is not feasible, that is given to us. We will decide that this is not feasible, this is already available into this ERP system, we just need to integrate and all that. Okay, so in this is the common flow will which we'll going to see into this particular session. Okay, now here if you will see simple ERP system, simple database architect. I'm not yes, it's a database architect. Here you will see for data warehouse we have a legacy system. Okay, and all these things, sales distribution, business planning, or it's going to soft floor logistic, and it have one database that is called operational database. In that operational database we have customer data, vendor data, inventory management data, warehouse management data. All these things are sitting into this particular database. Okay, so no need to host any other database. Just you have to uh, take the database size from the Microsoft. Like as I already told, it completely depends on the business size. Okay, so and you can control, you fully control on this particular database. Okay, now so we will see the D365 evolution from last uh, uh, this particular ERP system is firstly driven by IBM. Okay, and that is at before World War. Okay, so what will happen at that time? Microsoft was working on the cloud infrastructure. At that time and during the World War, their physical cloud database center was destructed in the World War. So Microsoft was quite busy on building the cloud system. So at that time, IBM, Microsoft took over that particular ERP system. Okay, and he built first ERP system known as Microsoft Dynamics AX. Okay, oh sorry, in 2002. Sorry, in 2002 is first version that is called Xparta. Okay, with the name Xparta. And at that time Microsoft is not much capable of building a cloud system. Okay, they are just doing R&D over the cloud system. In 2006 he migrated from physical center to the cloud system and built Microsoft Dynamic AX. Okay, in Dynamic AX, actually, there are not much models. What actually the main major thing, what happened that Microsoft is also building their system, also building their codes. Okay, and that particular Dynamic AX is given to other business also. So Microsoft is also writing their code, hosting their code, and deploying their code. Actually, at that time, Microsoft Azure haven't introduced at that time. So they are doing all these things physically. They have their own internal system from where they are migrating the code from development to prod. Actually, okay. At that time, suppose if I have also taken the subscription and I am also using Microsoft Dynamics AX at that time in 2006, and suppose a class written, suppose a Microsoft have written the class like calculate sales order or calculate sales line. Okay, now suppose my business requirement is that I need to change that particular business calculation. Okay, I need to put my code over that. So what would happen? I just went into that particular method and I'm writing the code. Now what will happen when the Microsoft was deploying the code was completely, you can say, failed from their side, because there is no reference from, because I have created the table, I have created the objects. So as they are compiling their code, they are not getting that particular object, that particular table, methods, whatever. So what will happen in Dynamics AX 2012? They have added a customization called overlay extension. Extension is of two kind, like chain of command and event handler. Means suppose you have the suppose a Microsoft have written a method called calculate sales order price. Okay, now your business people came and told that no, I have my own calculation. Okay, this is my calculation strategy. You have to build a method to bypass Microsoft calculation process and build this particular calculation process. So what you will do, you can go either by COC, means chain of command. You will call that particular method. Okay, after that, you will write your own calculation method. So what will happen? You have created that particular method. You are not touching Microsoft Dynamics code. When you run that particular method, Microsoft Dynamics method will run first. After that, your code will run first. Secondly, your code is going to run. Okay, so first Microsoft Dynamics, Microsoft, whatever written the code, that will run. After that, whatever you have written, that particular code will run. So what will happen? There is no merging of code happening here. So this customization came in Dynamics 2012. After that, in a Dynamics AX 2012 R3, with particular extension, he have introduced a DMF framework, that is called Data Management Framework. Okay, so as I already told in earlier classes, you if you are performing any kind of data migration or integration, you cannot uh, transfer the data from directly from your SQL server. Okay, you don't have the access of that. Definitely you don't have the access. Okay, if you'll go to the prod system, you cannot see even a single amount of data into the SQL server. It's totally controlled by Microsoft. If you want to see, you have to raise the ticket from LCS, life cycle services. Or if any things you want to change, you have to go to the Microsoft and give the proper reason why you are changing this method. And also whatever you are building, what code you are building into the for business, these all are going to checked by Microsoft. If it is going for any particular business, Microsoft, in between, Microsoft employee will check all these codes, all the best practices. You have added a comment or not, proper nomenclature of the method, proper nomenclature of the class, tables, menus, items, and all. Okay, you have a form patterns, different form patterns. Although you can create your own custom pattern also, but that also have some limitations. Okay, so likewise everything is controlled by Microsoft when it goes to the business, when it is goes to the production. Okay, so what will happen here after that? if you uh, if you are going with the transition from the dev environment to the production environment, okay, and any glitch comes into the production environment, you cannot directly go to that particular method and you cannot do anything. What you have to do, you have to again come into your particular dev environment, you can modify your code, and then you can move again with either it is from LCS or either it from pipeline or check-in check-out system. Okay, here you need to check out the code, you have to modify that particular code, and I can check in that particular code. So this is the flow. So these all things come into the Dynamics 2012 R3. After that, the next evolution, Dynamic 365 for operation. Here, they are more worked on user interface. If you will see Xparta, Dynamics AX and AX 2012, it's very primitive, very old design you will see. Big buttons. Okay, the user interface also you will see like very old kind of thing. Okay, I've worked on this particular AX 2012 R3. It's very basic. It's like you are operating with the kids system. Okay, the user interface is quite clumsy. It's not very attractive, interactive. But if you go to the dynamics for Dynamic 365 for operation, in this from this phase they have increased the vision of particular user interface. Okay, from here they have uh, quietly change what will be the user perspective, where should be the button goes, generally where the user clicks on the button, all these things, charts they have added a workspace, lots of things they have added. Now into the Dynamic 365 finance and operation. Now it will be, before it was operation, after that they have added some finance module also, like account payable, account receivable, purchase equation, and many more things they have added. Okay, actually account payable, account receivable already into the D365 R2, but not on that particular instant. Okay, so they modified all these things. Okay, they build finance more strong as compared to other ERP. And in 2000, like nowadays we have our own version, we have this version called Dynamic 365 finance and operation. So this is our future, like which we are working completely on this particular version. And now from here it have different parts. Now what is doing, Microsoft is releasing their versions like dot 36, dot 37, dot 38, like that. Small changes they are doing into the user interface, into the mailing part, okay, you into the interaction, into the integration, into the much more on the, they are working much more on the user interface side actually. Now if you will see the dynamics screen, it will be quite interactive. You can integrate AI and all these things. Okay, so now we are here on dynamic 365 finance and operation. So this is the complete revolution or evolution, you can say, from last 2002 to till 2026. And now also Microsoft, if you go to the Microsoft post, you will see lots of new features are actually in the pipeline. Okay, they are releasing every year the new features, okay, of the ERP. Okay, you can come to the LCS actually. On the LCS is life cycle services, where they are going to host all these things. Okay, from the LCS you have to upgrade your system. Suppose you have developed your system. Now that system is developed on dot 35. Now we have dot 42 released, okay, or dot 41. You can go to the LCS, you can select that particular version, you can update. Okay, so it will take some 3 to 4 hours for updation. Okay, so in between all these things will update. So every year the Microsoft is releasing their own customization, okay, on the LCS. If you go to the LCS, you will see all these things, all the information, all the versions are available on that particular LCS.
So Prashant, one question, like out of these, I think 8 to 9, which are the version like is still like a client are using, which has not been by deprecated by the Microsoft, which are they still working
See, as of now, Microsoft, from here to here, these all are deprecated. Okay, if you
from
are using
till
Microsoft Dynamics AX, Microsoft completely strictly says, please move your business from AX to Dynamic Finance and Operation.
which
So
version
if you are,
Microsoft stopped providing the support, though they are recommending, but which they
yeah,
already stopped the service. Yeah.
yes. So from here, Dynamics AX 2012 up to here, Microsoft is stopped this actually.
Okay. Okay.
They have given the guideline that please upgrade your system from AX 2012 to Dynamics Financial Operation, because if anything goes wrong, he will not going to support you. If any data corrupted, if anything corrupted, he will not support you.
Okay. So in this
Okay.
training, are we also going to cover about the how we are going to, the upgrade the like this like let us say if someone customer is having D365 2016 or 17. So is there any kind of we are having some process where exactly we are going to explain like what are the
Actually, for
protocols of
upgradation, we require lot of things. Okay. It's not
okay,
about that
okay,
you can download one version and you can directly switch for Dynamics AX
okay,
2012 to Dynamics Financial Operation. In between, there are
okay,
lots of process.
okay, understood.
So
So I think
I will
mhm.
explain migration methodology, but I will not go inside that.
Okay, we could I think we might be having a some separate training for the same as that's completely fine. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So here we will be you will be going to focus on the latest version that is the D365 Finance and Operations. Correct?
Yes. Dynamics
Okay.
365, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our version. Currently, we are using this particular. From here, it have different like co-versions, you can say. Dot 36, dot 37, dot 38 means they are just releasing some kind of packets, well, regarding user interface or regarding some change in inventory management, some change in warehouse management, like that. Okay, so
Okay.
they are
Understood.
just, yes, they are just releasing a small packets, and like you can we can use that. Okay, now I will come to, so now as we know that Microsoft Dynamics, so have you got the idea about the Microsoft Dynamics? Before that, have you got the idea about ERP, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Anybody have any questions about ERP, about Dynamic 365 Finance and Operation? So please um, ask me. Any questions? Amit, you have any question?
Hi,
No,
Amandeep
no.
here. Can you please explain the ERP and CRM system with some real-time example?
Okay, ERP and CRM system. Okay.
Yes.
So as I have already explained the ERP system, okay, here, and I've given the example of ERP regarding laptop manufacturing company. Okay.
Okay.
So, and CRM is actually a part of ERP, where the CRM is called
Okay,
customer relation management. Okay. So suppose if you want to connect with the CRM, with the ERP, we have a particular architect for that. Okay. So
okay,
CRM is basically a part where you can integrate your ERP to the CRM. You can integrate your ERP to the other third party Power Platform or Logic apps. Okay. Or Azure Service Bus like that. Okay, so into the ERP,
okay,
if you will come, we have the dual right. Okay, so if you'll go to that particular module, you have to set up your CRM system. CRM system have a URL on all these things. You have to go and you have to set up all these things, your user ID, password with that particular URL over there. And as soon as you will set up, the particular ERP will be connected to the CRM. And from the D365 screen, there is one button. If you click, it will navigate to the CRM system. Now the CRM and ERP will interact with each other.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, now clear.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So as I'm going to discuss some of the models which are going to available. Models, sorry, modules, not models. Okay. So modules are like budgeting system. We have inventory management system, procurement and sourcing. Okay, PIM, production environment management, system administration. Okay, organization administration. Actually, ERP is work on the legal entity. Now, what is legal entity? Basically, suppose uh, you have a business which are controlled by three countries in India, from Africa, and from America. Suppose you have your business is controlled by three different paradigms. So what will happen in that case? You will create a legal entity. Okay, suppose a legal entity for India, you have created USPI. For America, you had created USMF, or for South Africa, XYZ. Just I'm giving an example. So here the legal entity concept is there. Okay. So if you go on to the screen on the top right side, you will see the legal entities. Suppose the person who are managing the business from the America have their own data. So that particular data is going to sit there into own legal entity. Suppose someone is sitting into the India have their own data. So that particular data is going to sit into that particular legal entity. But the database is same. Database is same. It was characterized by a legal entity. If you will go into the particular database, you will see a field where legal entity will going to sit. Okay, you will see the legal entity. The database is same, but you will see different kind of characterization of data according to the legal entities. Correct? So
Yeah,
here we have, have you got this point?
yeah. So one doubt I was having, Prashant, as you mentioned about the legal entity, right? So let us say one company is having the three the area companies where they're majorly working. So at a high level, if I would say in generic level, what kind of the information legal entity is going to hold? You mentioned about like it is going to hold the currency information, right?
Hmm.
What kind of the data? Because when it comes about the entity, right, it is going to hold one. type of data, right? So what kind of the information basically the legal is going to handle? Can you just explain?
Just I'm giving you an example. Suppose you have a laptop manufacturing company. Okay.
Right.
Definitely you have in India, you have some different vendors. In America, you have different vendors. In other country, have different vendors. Now, how will you segregate that this particular vendor is from this particular country, this particular vendor is from this particular country? So
Okay.
that particular data, you can create your own legal entity. Okay,
Okay.
if you will switch from legal entity USMF to USPI, you can see that particular data. That okay, these are the vendors which are available into the America. I have to transit this much of a laptop from India to America with this particular vendor or this particular people.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, yeah. So this is the concept. I will show you everything into the system. Okay,
Okay. Understood.
just give
Understood.
an overview about that.
By default, also there would be a good amount of a system. The legal entity would also be available, right? By ERP, I guess, right?
Pardon, sorry.
So I'm saying like there would be a good amount of a legal entity system also
You
provided,
can
I guess.
create your own legal entity here. You can
Okay.
create
Okay.
your own custom legal entity. Okay,
Okay.
suppose
Understood.
as I already told, suppose your business is going to operate from different countries. So how will you accommodate into the ERP? That particular concept introduced by legal entity. It's a
Okay.
feature of Microsoft Dynamics ERP system.
Understood.
Okay,
Understood.
yeah. So likewise, we have a model called budgeting. Okay, uh, we have another module called project management. I'm just taking the random example. Okay, in the project
Mm-hmm.
management, we have different user interfaces. We have call centers, tickets. Okay, ticket management system. Okay, legal management system. Legal is not a legal entity. Some kind of legal information we are going to store. Advertising, construction, okay, product order, manufacturing, all this comes to this particular project. So for this particular project management, we can build this kind of infrastructure. Or if you want to add on something, you can build that on the top of that. Okay, because as I already told, every business have their own different behavior. Okay,
Correct.
now I will come to ERP architecture. So basically, ERP is actually based on, or you can say, a three-tier architecture. Three-tier means three application running. Okay, now what are the three applications? In just short form, I am saying three application means a client. Client means your browser. AOS,
Okay.
which are the bridge between SQL Server and the client, which are carrying information from SQL Server to the client. So in between that, AOS, that is called Application Object Server. Application Object Server is actually is kind of uh, IIS, Internet Information Services. Okay, you will see World Wide Web. So World Wide Web is actually, if you go to the services into the D365 F&O, you will see World Wide Web services. Okay, and that World Wide Web
Okay.
services, if you stop, that particular World Wide Web services is, yeah, if you go to the services, you can see, if you will stop that, your ERP system on the particular client, means on the web browser, it will not show. Means you cannot open the ERP system on the browser. It will say that your World Wide Web service is stopped. Please restart or start that particular World Wide Web service. Sorry.
Okay.
So likewise, IIS is Internet Information Services. I already told that different kind of services hosted, like Tomcat, Oracle, WebLogic, and all these things. So likewise, Microsoft have their hosted own service called server called IIS, that is called Internet Information Services. So SQL Server, if you come to the service, you will see the SQL Server instance. Okay, with the SQL
Okay.
SQL.exe, axclient.exe. These all are running on that particular services. Okay, if you'll go to here, I don't know it's a service available or not. Let me search and see. See, these are the services. Okay. Are you my screen is visible?
Yes, yes, your
Are you
screen is
able to
very
see
much
the
visible.
services?
No, no, no. I think you are just sharing your, I think the screen only, right? Can you just try to
Just 1 minute. I
unshare?
want to share whole
Just try to
screen.
unshare and try to reshare your screen, please.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Hello.
Yeah, Prashant.
So my
Can you
screen
please?
is visible.
Yes, it's visible
Yes.
now. Yeah.
So see here, if you will see the services, these all are services actually.
Okay.
Okay. So here actually, if you'll host Microsoft system, you will see some services like Microsoft Dynamic AX, SSRS reporting service, World Wide Web
Okay.
service, and all this service will be available hosted by Microsoft, and it will add here actually.
Okay.
Okay. When I will deploy the system, I will show these services.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going back to PowerPoint. Okay. So we have yes. So first client will be our uh, first architect is, or first tier is called client, where you are going to
Mhm.
see, or where the user is going to interact client with the client known as Chrome browser or Microsoft Edge, where you are going to interact with the user interface. First one, first tier. Second will be your SQL server. Okay. Third will be your AOS. AOS means where the Microsoft Dynamics is sitting. IIS is carrying the or constructing the bridge between your client and between the SQL server. Actually, so here you can see the flow. From browser, it will go to IIS. From IIS, you will go
Okay.
to the AOS, and from AOS, it go to the SQL server. Now, whatever you will like, suppose you want to see, or you want to see some account payable data, account receivable data. So this will be the flow actually. This the request sent to the IIS. IIS send the request to AOS. AOS send the request to the SQL server.
So, Prashant, can you just try to re-explain the purpose of the IAS and AOS? So let us say I am the person who's going to create an order, right? So I will log into the browser, I will create the order, right? Then
Yeah.
what IAS and AOS is going to do, can you just help me out?
So IIS is basically a internet information services.
Okay.
Internet information services means it will carry the information between your browser to AOS.
Okay.
AOS is actually
Okay.
sitting into the Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O application object server.
Okay.
Into the
Okay.
application object server, you will see all the modules. As you told that you want to see the data of production order, you want to see the data
Okay.
of account payable or budgeting or whatever.
Okay.
So all this data is sitting into here.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, not the data, but the particular module is sitting.
Okay.
The data
Okay.
is
Okay.
sitting into the SQL server, but
Oh.
it's you can say it's
Some say some sort of placeholder we can say kind of
yes,
kind of.
placeholder. Yes, correct. Placeholder is
So
sitting
basically,
into the AOS. Okay,
okay.
where
Understood.
when you click on that particular
Prashant,
particular
Mannar here.
button, particular module.
I-
Yes, sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
So this IS is an Internet Information Server, right? Like where you host your application, right? In the server,
Yes.
basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not
Yes.
like means you are hosting your code basically, DLLs in that IS server, and
Right.
from there you will get that URL basically, right?
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it
Okay.
will going to interact with the SQL server.
So it would be having the vice versa also. Let us say if I need to retrieve the information from XYZ order kind of a things, then how this flow is going to be? So right now the flow is from the browser. Like if I need to create an order, then this is happening. So let us say if I have to retrieve the any kind of informations,
Yes, the
right?
same thing will happen. Same thing, no change. Same thing will happen. This is the
So
basic
first of all,
process actually.
it's just like we will send some sort of request, right? The
Yes,
request will go to the SQL server, they understand, and then the response would go, and then again IIS will give the response back to the browser. Is it?
yes, it's same kind.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
Looks good.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep, looks good to me. Please, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Now the second tier is IaaS in Internet Information Services. Okay, this is a web service. Okay, you can see the responsibility, host the D365 web application, handle HTTP and HTTP request. Okay, authentication, session management, load balancing, request routing. Okay, here clearly written that browser cannot communicate with the application. IIS act as a gateway between browser and the application. Now now the point is clear, Amit. What
Yeah,
is the
it's clear.
IIS actually?
Yes, it's very much clear to us.
Yeah. Now the third architect will be a SQL Server, SQL database, where all the
Prasun, one question. This
yeah,
IS for the on-premise, right? For the online module, we don't have any control, right? Here,
for online module.
this FNO, like IS is a on-premise, right? Basically, on the you install and that. There is also the online tool also, right? The FNO, where that is like a PaaS service, right? Where we don't have control on the IS, right? Internet Info Server.
No, if you will host the system, IIS will come default into that
No,
particular.
no, but in the cloud way, there will be no IS, right?
Into the cloud, yes.
Because
It
this
have
you are talking about the on-premise architecture, right?
yeah on-premise architecture.
So, okay, because now in the online version, so it is the same like or we are launching another web server like that is like we need to take a plan for that.
No, 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 no need actually.
Okay.
Actually, this particular IIS service will come into either it is on-premise or if you'll go
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
like if you,
definitely. Because in on-prem you will have a Windows server, all of that, and that is the one component IS server where you deploy. But in when we buy a like a version trial or something, not trial, pay as you
Mhm.
go in FNO, then like that is
Ah,
like
there
we are taking the
actually
plan,
we have
right? We are the
some
plan.
different service also available. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, okay. Like if you are going with a batch job, we have the server called batch.exe. Okay. Batch job I already explained, which are running into the background. If you want to uh, run that particular batch job, then for that particular uh, for running for that particular batch job, we have another server called batch.exe. If you want to debug that particular batch job, you have to go and click the batch.exe. Okay. So likewise for this, we have IIS server. So we have different servers available. Now the three tier architecture in the third components, we have the database. Database where your all the data is going to sit. Okay. Like I've just given some example like cus table, when table, invent table. These are the database table which are created by Microsoft. Okay, sales table, sales line. Okay, invent site, invent sum. These all are depends on the based on the modules, we have different tables. And also you can create your own database structure, your own table structure, all these things all together into the ERP. And it will go and it will sit into the into particular database actually. So as I already told that if you are creating ERP, it will going to uh, accommodate into the physical structure. Like it depends on the business size. Okay, so generally, if you will download the ERP system, it will take around 200 GB of your free space into the laptop, because all these modules, all the DLLs, all the database structure will sit into the particular folder. Okay, into the either it is a K drive or C drive, sometime in K drive, sometime in a C drive. Okay, AOS package local directory and the model will sit in. So this is the structure. Your K drive or either C drive. In my system, it's sitting in the K drive. AOS. Okay, if you go inside the AOS, if you go inside in that also in that particular folder, you will go inside that. You'll find all the module. Okay, inside that model, if you'll go, you'll find all the components whatever you have added. Either it is a table or classes or reports or methods, I mean, okay, data entities, reports, and all these things are going to sit into that. And likewise, if you'll increase the storage size is also going to increase. Okay, now this is the actually basic picture of how, like, we have the element project model package. This is the basic concept. Okay, element project model and package. Like if you'll create, suppose if you have a business. Okay, like I'm just taking example of laptop manufacturing company. Okay, so if you want to create that particular business, you need to create a model for that. Model will be short. You have to give the model very short. You have to give the proper nomenclature of that model. Means model is the packet or is the room where all your customization going to sit. So suppose my model is uh, anything XYZ. I have given the name and its description is like uh, laptop manufacturing first version, like that you can give. And you can create a model is a packet or room where you are going to do any kind of operation. You will create a table, you will create a data entities, forms, whatever. So in that particular model you will sit. Suppose you have another business of suppose another business instance you have, so you can create your another model. So model is basically a package or a room, okay, where your particular business things, business stuffs is going to sit. Okay, any confusion into the models? I will start with the model actually first. Anybody?
Prashant, can you hear me out? Prashant, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
So Prashant, I was saying, like, I'm working in Power Platform. So I think in Power Platform, we are having something called a concept, like a component and solutions. Correct. So whenever we are working for any kind of a customer, the first thing that we do, we create the solution. Correct. So you're trying to say
Hmm.
that solution is equivalent to kind of model. Is our understanding correct? Just like it's like a whenever we
Yes,
start
yes,
a
yes.
kind of a and like
Suppose you have
whenever we
created
are.
your,
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, so this is basically a place where the developer is going to do all their development work, and that's all
Yeah.
it is. Correct.
Yes, 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 yes,
So
yes.
model I can understood element is something the smallest unit kind of a thing. Correct. All right.
Um, yeah, you can see a packet
Packet.
where
All
all
right.
your customization, whatever you will do, it will going to sit inside that.
Okay.
Okay,
Understood.
just give me 1 minute. Actually, someone on the door. Just 1 minute. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, I'm back. So yes, so we are on the models, right? Model means where all your customization, all your business perspective, whatever, like you have some plans for the business, correct? So if you want to create a particular module, whatever you will create, that will going to sit into that particular model. Okay. Now above the model, this is the package. Okay. Now what is package? As I said, that you have created your model, you have created your customization. Now, how it will be carried from one place to another place? Correct,
Right.
right? So suppose you have you have model created. Additionally, first of all, you will whatever things you will create, it will go into the dev environment, right? So from the
Right.
dev environment, you need something to carry this particular model to the higher instances. Higher instances means a production environment where the actual business is going, where the actual business process is flowing. Okay, so it's kind of carrier, you can say. Like you put anything over there and it carries from one place to another place. Okay, now created the model. Now you have to transport that particular model. Like on the Flipkart, you have packed the things. Now you have to move by the truck from from warehouse to your address. So client for Flipkart, I am the client. I have ordered something. I am the client. So you will pack all these things. Now it will be moved through the bus, truck, or whatever, and it will come to me. So the package is actually doing the same thing. So into the Visual Studio, if you will go, what suppose if you have to suppose your business architect came and told that okay, I have just given a customization. Okay, now I need to move the package from production from dev to UAT or UAT to production environment. So what I will do, I will create a package for that. I will create a package and I will either when there was no pipeline or the deployment of different kind actually we have manual deployment, we have deployment with the LCS, or we have the deployment with the CI/CD pipeline, that is continuous integration, continuous development. Okay, so at my time when I was working on X 2012, actually what I was doing at that time, I was creating a package and okay, and I am uploading that package onto the LCS. If you go to the LCS, you will see a button or a module called package upload, where you can upload the package. So the package will particular um, absorb the model from your system. I mean, whatever customization you did, all these things come and sit in the package. Okay, and that particular package you can go and upload to the LCS. Now suppose particular in between that particular customization going to test by different people. We have the junior functional, we have senior functional, and when you deploy to the production, you have to interact with the client also, that is this customization is correct, whatever you have given, can we move? If you will give the green signal, then only package is already created. But suppose he said no, there I want more customization, or no, this is not correct, then again you will go, you will change all these things, change code or whatever in whatever module. You again you create the package and you will upload that particular package on the LCS, and you will inform it to your particular architect that I have uploaded to the LCS. Now, because production environment, UAT environment, all these things, we don't have the access. Generally, I am working, I have only the access of dev environment. Sometime I got the, for some rectification or some kind of checks, I got the UAT in UAT access sometime. Okay, prod. Most what we did, this person who is sitting on the top will give me a database, will give you a backpack file actually. Okay, by going to the interaction with the Microsoft, he will create a backpack file, and we are just migrating the database from prod to dev. Suppose something is not working into the prod environment. Okay, but it's working in the dev environment. Now, how will you check that? You have to migrate your prod data to your particular dev into the particular dev environment. First of all, it will migrate to the UAT, user acceptance testing environment, where the app, if there also particular catch, particular error is not coming, it's only coming into the prod, then you have to move that particular production database into your development environment, and then you need to debug the code. Definitely you will get the error if that coming into the prod. It will definitely, that's the same data. If you're migrating from dev prod environment to dev environment, it will definitely, that particular error will come into the development environment. Now there you will debug, and then again you will check in that particular code or create a package, and then in this kind it will move. So if you have created all these things, created the model, now I will go inside. Now the model projects. So whatever you are doing, any kind of change, if you are doing any kind of change, any kind of customization, we need to create a project. Likewise, correct, Amit? If you are into the Power Platform, you will also create a project, right? If any customization
Right.
came, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yes. So in that particular project, now suppose you have 10 different Power Platform. Now there is
Mhm.
some customization you have to do into Power Platform 1. So what you will do? You will create project and you will add that particular Power Platform app, right?
Okay.
That is
Okay.
called the element. So
Okay.
into the project, on whatever things you are working, that is the element. Suppose I am working on warehouse management. So I will go and I will check the user interface. Okay, on this particular interface, on this particular form, I need some change came. Some change has been given by the client. I need to change this, or I need something is not working. So that particular stuff I will add in my project. I've created the project. For the project creation also, we have to follow a proper nomenclature. It's not like that you have written XYZ, ABC, whatever. No, you have to give first model name. Suppose a model called, I cannot reveal the model, but I'm just giving an example that we have one model with integrated chemical management. Okay, so the model created is called ICM. I'm just taking one random example. So first three letter of that particular model we have. Okay, so I model underscore your project name. This will be the nomenclature which are given by Microsoft and camel case structure actually. So I've created the project. Now, when you create the project, you will see all these things, AOS and all these things come into that project. Now you have to add that particular elements in your project. Now I'm working on invent module, or I'm working on purchase table, or I'm working on sales table. I have, suppose into the sales table, I need to add one field. Okay, that a field is integer. I need to add. So what I will do, I will go and I will first add that particular table. So table here is element. I've added that particular into the project. Now I have to move, and now project is created. Everything goes well. Everything is tested. Now this particular, under this model, if you create the project, you have to select the model. Okay, you have selected the
Okay.
model. Now this particular project element sit into the model. Now I have to move this particular model to my prod environment, or I have to move that particular, or I have to send this particular change to my business architect. Suppose your business architect told that, okay, whatever customization you did, can you send me the email? So what you will do? You will create a package. You will attach that particular package into the particular email, and you will send it. Now what he will do, he will import that particular package. So whatever change you did, whatever elements you have added, it will open in their Visual Studio. He can check, he can see. So when there was no in one of the company when I worked, when there was no proper deployment system, so code, basically it's for code review. So my senior technical or senior architect person was at the midnight actually. It's we have to send whatever change we did. We got the TFS ID, in the Azure DevOps, if you'll go, you will got the TFS ID. Okay, a TFS ID is actually assigned to a particular person. Suppose in a sales order table, I need to add one field called sales ID. I need to add that field, and that field is numerical value or alphanumeric. Okay, this is my task. So this task, where it will be created? It will be created into the TFS. Okay, and that particular TFS I can see. On the TFS, if you'll go on that particular Azure DevOps, there will the several statuses are there. Okay, whenever the TFS is created, you will automatically get a mail in your Outlook that, hey Prashant, your TFS ID has been created with this particular customization. Please check. You can click, it will redirect to that particular TFS ID where you can see what is the customization. Now you come to your Visual Studio, you have created the project. In that particular project, you have added the elements. Suppose I have to add a sales ID into the sales table. Okay, I will go and I will add sales table. I will create one alphanumeric data, data type, okay, with the name sales ID. I will add that particular field into the table. Okay, now I have to move that particular feature into the production environment. Now there is a model assigned for my business. Suppose ICM, I'm working on ICM or XYZ or ABC company. Okay, so I will go and I will click, I will select that particular model, ABC or ICM, whatever. I will select that. So whatever customization you are doing, it are going to sit into that particular model. Now I have to send this particular customization to my senior person. So at that time, we are doing like that. We need every 11 p.m. we need to send an email with the attachment, with the package attachment. So we are creating a deployable package. So package means a deployable package. Actually, it is. Okay. So if you go to the Visual Studio, you will see one button, create deployable package. When you click on that particular deployable package, the whatever model is created, it will comes into the table. You can select checkbox. You can select that, okay, my model is ABC. I have checked that. Create package. It will create a package. It will take based on the size. Suppose the model is very big and it's have lots of elements and all that. So it will take around 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like that. And it will show on the Visual Studio whether your package has been created. Now, whatever location, now if the package is created on the, if you go below, you will see you can choose your own destination. Suppose I want to save this package on my C folder, D folder, whatever. You can select, it will sit into that particular folder. Okay, now you have to send this particular, just I am what I did further earlier that I'm explaining. So I'm going to open the Outlook. Okay, I'm just attaching that particular package or that file. Now it's created the file. That file into my email. I'm sending the email that, okay, this is the customization with full clarification. All the unit testing has been done. All these things has been done. Please move this to the production environment. So this was happening before. Okay, I was doing the same kind. Now my technical architect have added the LCS. He developed the CI/CD pipeline. After that, no need. We need just to check in all these things onto the particular production environment. They are taking all the gateway test, or it will automatically go into the CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So likewise. So have you got the concept of all elements, project, model, and package? Anybody have any questions?
Hi, Tarun here. Just wanted to ask, what is actually LCS?
Okay, LCS is life cycle services. Okay, LCS, suppose you have hosted the system. Okay, now the system maintenance, the system monitoring, where you will do that, all these things are going to happen into the LCS. Okay, something, some in suppose in the system something has been corrupt. Where you will check? You will go to the LCS. You will see if the system has been corrupted, or suppose you are deploying the package, something happens, where you will see? You will go to the LCS. So LCS is basically a bridge between Azure and Microsoft Dynamics ERP, a
Okay.
connecting string between Azure and ERP. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification. Thanks for that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So basically, a element, if you'll say, is an object or a component in this D365, such as table, forms, whatever, dashboards, etc. Elements exist in a model. Okay. Elements are stored in a disk as a XML files. Okay. It's stored in XML files actually. These files contain metadata and source code of the element. So here, metadata actually, metadata concept. You know metadata? Data under the data, that is called metadata. Okay. So if you'll go, if you'll open this particular, if you'll host, if you'll uh, create an architect, okay, regarding deployment package and all, you will see on the Visual Studio, first of all, model. Okay, inside the model, you will see all these elements, all the metadata. So into that particular folder, the name metadata came. Okay, into that particular metadata, you will see all these elements, and it is characterized, it is stored like this. Tables have all the tables. Classes, if you open the classes structure, it will show all the classes. So metadata means data under data. So table is another data. Now in, if you open that particular table type, you will see all the tables. Classes in another kind of data. If you open the classes, you will see all the classes. Data entity is another kind of data. If you open that particular data, you will see another kind of data. Means in the data entity, you will see all the data entities. Into the method classes, you will see all the classes. Into the SSRS report, you will see all the SSRS reports. So that is a metadata concept. So here in ERP, we have metadata concept. Okay. Likewise, project, where a small group of elements or collection of elements, okay, can be customized. They are added to a specific Visual Studio. Okay, project always belong to only one model. See here, okay, you can create n number of projects into the model. Suppose I have one customization of the sales order, same like my colleague have the customization on purchase order. So he can create their own project, but he is working on same model. I am also working on ABC model. He is also working on ABC model. Okay, but the objects are different. If suppose objects are also same, now how the development is going here? How the, if suppose I am also working on sales table, he is also working on sales table. Now here check-in check-out process will come. If suppose I have already worked on sales table, I have to check in that particular object. I will check in, then only he can modify that particular object. If he will try to modify the particular object, he will say no, this particular object is already checked out somewhere, please go and contact. Likewise, and a kind of notification will come. So then he will ping into the team, okay, who have checked out this particular sales table object? Can you please check in if it's done? Okay, then I will check in. Then only he will able to modify or add or regulate any kind of things into that. Okay. Now model. Model is a mandatory things for any sort of customized D365. A model can contain multiple Visual Studio projects, I already said. Okay. Example, models are warehouse management or project accounting or warehouse or procurement and sourcing or organization administration or XYZ, what module you have created. So don't confuse with the module and model. Okay. Model is that where you have created all the model which we have created, which are going to use from the back end. Module which you're going to see onto the screen. Correct? So this is the thing. Now, as I already told, that package is a deployment. Like if you want to deploy anything from a dev environment to UAT or prod, you have to create a package or a kind of carrier, you can say, where in that particular package, whatever model you have created, suppose my company is working on two different business. Okay, one is pharmaceutical management, another is sportswear management. I've created two model. Yes, I can add that particular model into my package. I can send all together these two model into my package. I can create the package for these two. Okay, so package, in that package, you can say package is a collection of model, you can say. Okay, and that particular model is sent into the binary format. Okay, binary format, it will sit inside that. Okay, now here if you will see the clear structure, here package 123, under the package model 123, under the model project 123, under the project element 123, whatever. So any questions on package model and this concept, element concept, anyone?
No, 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 it looks good to me.
Yeah, okay. Now we'll come to the deployment action in D365 F&O. Okay, so as I already told that deployment is very important part. So deployment is a very important part. Okay, so we have different kind of deployment process. We have CI/CD. You can go with the LCS. We can upload the package onto the LCS, and wherever you want to particular migrate your package, you can go into the LCS. You can get latest. You have to download the latest package. So whatever change you did, now suppose you have the production environment and everything goes well, you have created the package, and now this package you have uploaded to the LCS. Now it's ready to upload or ready to move to the production environment. So what we will do, whosoever the authorization of production, you have to send a mail and say that, okay, hey, I have all unit testing, functional testing has been completed. Okay, please please download the latest package. So he or she, whosoever the authorization, will go on to the LCS and download that particular latest package, and it will add into the queue and it will start the deployment. Now, particular deployment will take 3 to 4 hours. Okay. Now, after 3 to 4 hours, whatever change you did into a dev environment, now it will be visible into the production environment. Okay, but suppose if in between anything breaks, so deployable, a history will be prepared. You will go to the LCS, you will see on which environment, on which particular elements, or you have something, something written wrong into the code, or the reference is missing, or something is DLLs is not there, something which actually creates an issue that will, or create an error that will show into the LCS history. You can go and you can check. Okay, it will, if you go into the LCS, it there is just getting that particular name. One file is there. That file will be downloaded, and you can check in that file whatever error. It will it will indicate the error there, that this is the error in this particular element, or reference is missing, or this particular method is incorrectly called, or whatever. Okay. Likewise, Azure DevOps, as I said, okay, you can easily check in, check out. Suppose you have the folder. First of all, when you get the environment, okay, you have first connect with the Azure DevOps. Actually, suppose I get the fresh environment, fresh Visual Studio. So my first duty is to connect Azure DevOps. Okay, when I connect to the Azure DevOps, automatically all the elements come into my system, which the company have assigned me. Now you can see all the elements, whatever models it have, all the reference package, DLLs, all these things, all these stuffs are going to sit into that particular cloud environment. So cloud environment have the physical space, right? You can take from the Microsoft, you can take 400 GB of space, 16 GB of RAM, or 20 GB of RAM, whatever. Okay, so that particular whole stuffs are going to sit into that particular cloud environment. So when I will get my environment, I have to just connect with the Azure DevOps, and I will take the get latest. Get latest means whatever change has been now the things has came on particular Azure, particular Visual Studio, but it's not has been updated to your particular cloud system. It's only sitting into the Visual Studio space. Now you have to move that particular things into your physical space, into your cloud system. You will take the get latest. Or suppose anything new has been changed. Suppose I am working on the sales table, but already someone have added the sales ID on the sales table. Okay, what will happen? If I will not take get latest, I will also add sales ID. Now if I will deploy to the prod, it will create a error. Okay, it will say that two sales ID are the same field are available with the same name. How is it possible? How will I will take this package? Okay, so for that we'll take the get latest. After get latest, we have to build the module. Building is a process. Actually, this is a building infrastructure has been created with the C language. Okay, in anything you are changing into D365 F&O, you have to build it. Likewise, Amit, in Power Platform, anything you are changing, how the change is going on, like how the change is deployed, you have to rephrase or you need to do some operations in between, right? Like into the C sharp, if you are adding anything, you have to build it, right? Build mechanism, I am saying.
Correct.
Then only the
Correct.
change will be, then only the change will be implemented, right?
Correct. Correct.
So here also we have our build mechanism that is created by C language. Okay, so
Okay.
when you build that particular model, and what you are building your project. Here there are two things actually. Okay, build and rebuild. I will show you all these things, but I'm just explaining on the fly. Build and rebuild. Actually, build means whatever change you did, you have to build, but rebuild means entire things into the model it will rebuild. Okay, now there are three concepts: build, rebuild, and full build. Now, what is full build? Build, you understand. Suppose you did you have added sales ID, you have added into the table, now you have to build. Now, that particular sales ID is you can show into the SQL Server. And when you will give the build, actually, whenever you are changing anything, whenever if you have changed a small comment also, if you have changed any small line of code, or if you added any classes, or if you added any, if you change any data types, anything, you have to build, compile the system. That is called compile mechanism. Now another is rebuild. Rebuild means suppose you build your system, your model, but some reference package is already missing in that particular model. Okay, now suppose when you are building your project, you are getting some error like reference package is not available. Like that you got a error. What you will do at that time? Now you will check, if you go down to the Visual Studio info, you will see what info it's giving. Or you will see that, okay, into the particular, this particular element, something is missing. Or in that particular model, something has been changed, or something happened. It will give you clear information. Or error also come, it will give a clear error. So at that time, what you will do, you haven't did anything. You just added one field. Now, why this error is coming? Now, what you will do, you rebuild the system. Rebuild means it will compile whole module. If something inside that module is missing, okay, but that is not done by you, that is another developer had changed did any kind of changes into that particular module, you have to interact with your senior person that I haven't did the change into that. You have to send them email or likewise. Like just I am saying the how the company is flowing. Okay. So you have to give a rebuild. Now suppose you have to create a package. Package for what? Now suppose this particular model is migrating to the production environment. Then you have to give the full build. Full build means it will not going to build your model entire system. It will build. It will build entire system. You are working in procurement resourcing, but it will build all the modules. Whatever modules you have created, whatever standard module you have, it will build all these modules. And that is called a full build mechanism. Okay, and full build will take around 1 to 2 hours. So the best practice is whenever you are moving anything from dev to prod or UAT, or anyone who want the package, or suppose you want to upload the package into the LCS, before that you have to give a full build to the system. So this is the build mechanism and deployment process. Okay. Now, as I already told that we have systems architect, like
So,
environment is
Prashant,
divided.
Prashant, one thing here. So, like in this particular training, are you also going to cover this deployment through the CI/CD, or like what are the deployment methods you will be going to cover basically when we do any kind of the development kind of a thing?
I will try to touch both LCS and CI/CD.
Okay. Okay. But the core concept would remain same only, but the things are there, the method, how
Yeah,
it
core
is going to
concept is
happen,
same.
but the
In
backend
CI/CD, it's automated, you can say.
automated, right? But in the backend, whatever thing would be happening, it would be always remain same, like whatever the kind of the
Yes, like
backend kind of a thing.
into the CI/CD, what will happen? DLLs are running behind the
Okay,
scene. Okay, the DLLs are
understood.
running continuous integration. After
But
that,
the
continuous deployment. Okay, this is the thing.
the core component would remain same, like package component model, whatever you have
Yes.
explained, right?
Core component will be same. The structure will be same. Whatever you saw here,
Okay,
structure will be same
okay,
only. These things only
understood.
will move. Nothing change into this.
Just like
Okay.
how we are going to start the export and import process, that the way it is going to be changed, right?
Yes.
Okay,
You have automated it. As I already said that it was in my earlier company, it was like physical. I need to send an email on every day at 11 p.m. Okay, regarding or second after that, when another technical architect came, he said no, you have to upload this particular package on LCS, and at 12 a.m. I will take this part. I will upload this particular. I will take the get latest in my prod system, whatever uploaded. So this was now. Again, he changed to the CI/CD concept. Okay, he have created a build pipeline into the Azure, and all things are hosted in the Azure and it connected with our system. We just need to check in. It will automatically go into the CI/CD pipeline. Okay. Now, as you'll see the characterization of the system, tier 1 system means dev environment. Tier 2 system means sandbox. Okay. Tier 3 system or tier above than tier 2, we have UAT and production environment. Okay, here clearly said that tier 2 sandbox is for integration and functional testing. UAT is where the business user validate changes. And production is the live environment managed by Microsoft. So have you got the picture regarding this particular environment? Production is only managed by Microsoft. If you want any change, anything, Microsoft will give the authorization. And Microsoft will give the authorization to the higher level, to the higher people who are actually driving the business or who are the clients, okay, or who have invested the amount into the business. Okay. And in place of that, all this smooth process if anything, if any errors comes into the into the production environment, and all these heats, we have to take over our head, because we have developed this particular business. Only the part where the Microsoft came is, when anything goes to the Microsoft, it will check their best practice. Have you followed Microsoft best practice or not, Microsoft nomenclature or not? All these things are checked by Microsoft. He will give the green signal, then only it will be approved, and then only it will be aligned to the business. Okay, so have you got the idea? What are the environment? If you anybody say tire environment, tire 2, you will say that sandbox. Okay, UAT is for where the business user going to validate the change, user acceptance testing, UAT. Okay, so any doubt into the system and environments? Oh, I will move further. Okay, now here, if you will see this LCS architect, LCS actions actually. So as I said, if you go to, suppose if you added anything, any package onto the LCS, and you have to deploy that into the broad environment, whosoever the authorization Microsoft have given, he can go and apply updates. Okay, on applying update, it will take 3 to 4 hours. Okay, after that, all the whatever change you did, it will be reflect into the prod system. So here the flow will be from Visual Studio, it will go to the Azure DevOps. From Azure DevOps, it will go to the build pipeline. Okay, build pipeline will create the deployable package, upload to the LCS asset library, and then it will go to the sandbox, UAT, and production. Okay, this is the basic architect, basic flow. Okay, anybody have any questions? Amit, anyone, any questions into this?
Looks good to me. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Now into the CI/CD, we have the build pipeline, release pipeline, and approval. Okay, I will come these things into the much deeper manner actually. What is build pipeline? What is release pipeline? Release pipeline means which are going to release to the prod. Build pipeline means which we have built it. Okay, if it is built, it will go to the release pipeline. So when it will go to the release pipeline, you can create in between checks. There are lots of checks available into the Azure DevOps. You can create your own check. Okay, your own pipeline. Okay, if you go to the when you are building the pipeline, you can create your own custom pipeline. Okay, I need to check all these things. So here actually, if you will see in some companies here, for a particular Azure part, they have the separate developer for that who are working continuously on this only. Okay, so in as of now, wherever I have worked, just I need to check in the code, and all these things are handled by them actually. Okay, if anything comes in between, if any error comes in between, he will send. I'm just explaining the system how the big company is working on. If you're working in a small scale industry, small scale product projects, you have to manage all these things. Okay, but you are working in a big firm, big four companies, the separate teams are there. We are going to handle it, all these things. Okay. Now, as I said, a database movement. Now, as already said earlier into the conversation, is like, suppose you something happened into the production environment, how will you investigate that particular error or particular cases? How will you investigate? It's only happening into the prod. It's not happening into your product in your dev system. You will move the database. Definitely, see, into the development environment, we have created the data according to our development, correct? But into the prod, if you'll go now, the things are very like these things are very opposite. Okay, because in production they have the live data, and in our dev environment we have created the data according to the development, according to cases we have developed. So definitely if we'll go to the live, that particular code will break into the prod environment. Definitely. It's happened lots of time. So in that case, we cannot see the prod environment. Okay, we will just get an email with that particular attachment of a screen that, okay, here the error is coming, kindly investigate it. Now we have to again email to that particular person that we need your database back, your fraud database. Now the database move will now that how the database will move, it will move from prod to UAT. Okay, now in the UAT, all the functional people are sitting. Okay, they will say, okay, let me check. If suppose into the UAT that error is coming, he will inform them. Okay, no, it's not an code issue. It's regarding data issue. Okay, now into the prod, they will create that kind of data, or they will change some setup, something they will change. But again, if that particular error is coming, it means it's regarding the reference issue or code issue. Then it will come to us. Okay, now we'll investigate, we will debug and we will investigate that. So it will come to the prod to UAT. Now we have to move from UAT to dev. And the folder, like extension, you can say, .exe, .png, correct? So the database extension is .backpack. Okay, this is the extension. When we will move the database, the extension will be .backpack. Okay, I will come into this much deeper into this actually. Okay, now another is, okay, now I will come to the testing part. Okay, we have correct different kind of testing. We have unit testing, smoke testing, monitoring, this kind of post deployment. If it is deployed into the prod, now the testing is characterized into different sections. We, for development, we are doing unit testing. You know, unit testing is not valid at all. We just need to report, or we just need to create a unit testing document. We need to keep the screen that, okay, this is the customization, this is working like this. This is the customization, this is working like this. We need to create one unit test document. But that unit test document, actually the functional is not going to see. He will just say that, okay, whatever customization I got, I did that. Now functional will test according to the business scenario. Okay, and he will create their testing. I mean, their testing document that will be passed to the senior people or the business architect. Here we will go to validate. Okay, this is the business process. Yes, correct. Now it will go to prod. So likewise, I'll say smoke testing. Okay, unit testing and all these things. Okay, so yeah. So anybody have any questions till now?
Uh, Hi, Amit here. Can you explain about this integration testing a bit detail? Like how, what exactly we will basically do in this integration testing?
Okay. Integration testing means, I can say, if any integration is available into your particular project. So integration testing means, suppose you suppose a company who are exporting some data from my system to particular third party system. Now that particular third party people who are other who are working on other app, Java or Python or whatever, they will test that. Okay, is this particular data which I got from D365 F&O is correct or not? So this is the integration testing. You got my idea? I mean, you got my
Yeah, so
point?
if you're trying to say like if the two systems are there where we're trying to migrate the data, right? So whatever
Yeah.
the real-time
Suppose an
data
example I'm giving, you are a CRM guy or you are a Power Platform guy. I'm sending something from D365 to F&O, to Power Platform. So who
Okay.
will test? You will test, right? And you will verify that, okay, this data is coming correctly.
Just like verifying the real-time data transaction, like if I'm creating updating the 10 field data, right, in one
Yes.
system,
Yeah.
and those 10 information is properly getting updated in timely manner and the respective data, that is something part of the integration testing, correct? Like majorly about
Yes.
the syncing of the data in timely manner and properly, correct? It
Yes.
is not
Yes.
some
Yes.
sort of further automation kind of a thing. Majorly is like a syncing of data you are trying to say, correct?
Yes. 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 Correct.
Thanks for the clarifying, Prashant.
Yeah. Okay. So anyone have any other questions till now? I just given an overview. There are a lot more things are going to come. We will also code, like I will code in front of you. I will create one particular live projects, or I will replicate something from my current project to here actually, and I will show how the things are going on. Okay, in upcoming videos, in upcoming training sessions. Okay. So yes, this was my last slide actually. Okay. Yeah, this is it from my side for today. Anybody have any questions? They can ask.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Prashant, for providing the detailed information about the architecture kind of a thing. So, guys, anyone have any kind of question queries on this particular things? Prashant, I would request just try to make one folder where exactly we need to upload all the slides and
Yeah.
whatever the relevant data you are having. The second thing is that could you just explain like what are the things you are going to explain tomorrow, like just high level kind of overview, some sort of a thing.
Tomorrow we will going to I will going to explain the coding part, like data types, what is class,
Okay.
method, inheritance, polymorphism, basic OOPS concept.
I would request like also like we should be having one session. So like like before that, if you can just help us like how people can set up the environment, right? So that is something
Yes,
also
yes,
if you
yes.
can just
That also
put
I will
across, it would
involve.
be helpful.
That also I involve.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
Because infra, because people can do the necessary practice all together.
Yes, yes, yes.
Fine,
Okay.
guys. If no one have any question queries, we can wind up the session for now. And thank you so much for joining the session, guys.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thanks,
We'll
everyone.
connect to the next
Sure.
section.